Welcome to the Bronx Talks show, second ever.
We just lost you for 1 second, but welcome to the Bronx Talk Show. I am Christian, joined with Ryan. We have decent amount of Yankees talk today. On our schedule, we have the Yankees bullpen. Going to do a little chatter about that. The Yankees 2024 lineup preview. Blake Snell rumors he's still on the table, and Yankees also have new uniforms. So decent amount on our slate today. Now, look, Yankees, we kind of thought their offseason was over. It's not. And Brian Cashman also, an anonymous source told Mark Feinstead that he believes Cashman has something up his sleeve. Now, there is a ton of stuff that could mean, but who knows? Is that just blah blah blah, or is that the real thing? We really don't know. But we're gonna be diving a little bit into it. Yeah, Ryan, where are the Yankees at right now, and where do you think their bullpen is at? To be honest, I'm not really sure what the Yankees are going to do. Look, they are in a weird spot right now to say. They went out, they traded for Soto. They had a big offseason, you could say, right? And now we're kind of at the dead point. There's still some guys on the board. I saw Cody Bellinger rumors sort of flying around. Look, I can immediately dismiss those. That's not going to happen. To be honest, I think there is still a shot with Snell though. And I said this in a previous video. I think the most likely scenario for Snell is not that they're just going to go out and sign him. I mean, the report already came out that Snell was asking for $270 million, which is ridiculous. Okay. But look, I don't see the Yankees doing that. I think the most likely way that Blake Snell can end up a Yankee, though, is they go out, say Blake Snell is still on the market, and spring training starts to roll around, which is very possible, right? Then I think I could see the Yankees swooping in. And we've seen this before, okay? Players, I mean, this kind of happened with Correa a little bit. I think the most likely scenario is Yankees wait it out. Then comes spring training. Maybe one of the pitchers goes down in the rotation because right now the Yankees have 5 starters and 5 starters that can be very good. Okay. So I'm not going to dismiss that. But when you look at the rotation, you have Marcus Stroman, who's a wild card and has had some injuries in his past. We'll see what happens with that. You also have Nestor Cortez, who's battled injuries a ton. Carlos Rodon, same thing. And then you have Clark Schmidt and Garrett Cole, who I think you could kind of trust to stay healthy, and you know what you're going to get from both of them. But, I mean, you really have 3 guys in your rotation that you just have no clue what you're going to get injury-wise. So if spring training rolls around, and say one of those guys goes down immediately, or even if they don't go down, because I don't want to hope for an injury. I don't even really want to be predicting an injury. But if it does happen, or if it doesn't, if we get to spring training and the Yankees realize maybe we do need another pitcher, or if someone goes down and now they're at 4 starters and they have one of their lower guys like Luke Weaver in the rotation, that's when I could see them swooping in and giving Blake Snell some money. And look, if Blake Snell's contract stays really upwards above $200 million, I don't really see the Yankees going after him. But I don't think it's going to, because as far as we know, Yankees are the only team that has made an offer to Blake Snell. So when you look at that, I think $270 million is completely unrealistic to ask for from Blake Snell. And that's when I think the Yankees can come in during spring training, see that, okay, I mean, I got to pick a team. Then the Yankees maybe throw out their 150 mil offer again over 6 years, and he takes it. Now, there's a lot that has to happen for that, and it's a little unrealistic, but I just think that is the most likely scenario for Blake Snell ending up a Yankee. Okay, I don't think, and I think I said this on our previous podcast. I don't see the Yankees us just getting random news in the next 2 weeks saying Blake Snell's a Yankee for $200 million. That just seems unrealistic, right? I don't think the Yankees are at that point right now where they feel they have to do that. Although I think if we get to spring training, right, and one or two guys go down and Snell is still on the board, okay, that's when I think the Yankees could possibly come in, and then we'll see what we'll do, and then we'll see what they do. But we'll get into the Snell rumors a little bit later. Ryan is back now. Ryan, we can hear you. Finally.
I'm sorry.
No problem. I give brief intro on Snell. Let's get right into the bullpen. Right now, Yankees bullpen, I'll read it as it stands. You have Luke Weaver, who's slotted in the bullpen, but I mean, I think he might be a starter. Then you have Ron Marinaccio, Victor Gonzalez, who they acquired from the Dodgers, lefty, who I think could be a very big asset. Scott Efros, Ian Hamilton, Tommy Kahnle, Jonathan Loizica, and Clay Holmes, who will likely be our closer. I mean, that's a very good bullpen where it's at right now. Is it good enough, though? I mean, you have Holmes as your closer. I think that's a lot. I'm happy with that, even though some Yankee fans, get on Holmes and stuff. Mm-hmm. But look, I look at that that bullpen. After Loizica, Holmes, it gets a little bit empty. You don't. Kahnle could get injured, so hey, that's where a move could come in.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for the bullpen is, you look at that bullpen. Clay Holmes, talented name, made the All-Star team 2022. Clay Holmes is going to be inconsistent at times. It's just what we've seen so far. He'll go on runs where he's really, really dominant. He's getting everyone out, and then he'll go on runs where, he'll come out there, throw two balls behind the guy's head, and then you want to rip your hair out because it's about to follow. But the thing with the Yankees is I would say their bullpen, how many guys do you trust in that bullpen? This is a team with World Series aspirations, and you want to go out there and you want to have guys that are going to shut down the game in the 6th, 7th inning, big spots in the game, late in the game, and that's just going to be crucial in the playoffs. How many guys do you trust in that bullpen? There's guys like Hader available, Neris, who's pitched in big games. Both of them pitched in big playoff games. The Yankees didn't get either of them. My personal opinion, I would go after Wandy Peralta. The guy's been there, done that. I mentioned this in the last video. He's the only pitcher in the history of the divisional series to pitch in every single game, games 1 through 5. And he's clutch. We've seen Wandy be clutch at times. So you want to have relievers you can trust out there. And I think right now the biggest question with the Yankees bullpen is how trustworthy are they? Obviously, we don't totally know what to expect, right? Ron Marinaccio had a great rookie campaign. 2022 was really good. He got hurt for the playoffs, Christian. I remember us and a lot of Yankee fans were like, whoa, we're going to need Ron. The Yankees were able to get past the divisional round. Ron wouldn't, I guess, have been much of a help facing Houston. We just got dominated. But how many guys can you trust? there's some guys with question marks. Lasaiga, bad in 2022. Last year, injured for the majority of the season. What are we going to get there? Canely missed the first half, got back, was really, really good, then started to falter towards the end of the year. So how many guys can you trust in that bullpen? And I think we're going to figure that out pretty early on. And I think the Yankees, they don't really know what they got in there. They know they got a lot of talented arms, but they don't know if it's all going to fall into fruition. So we'll have to see what happens. But I think the Yankees, as of now, I know they picked up Matt Gage today. 5 appearances last year in the big leagues, 2.70 ERA. Not bad. I mean, the guy seems, just like a pickup. But I think the Yankees definitely need to add another reliever. And we made a video. There's some guys on the market, but the Yankees definitely need to make a move sooner rather than later. That's for sure.
Sorry about that. I kind of like the pickup today for the Yankees. More of like a depth piece, but a guy that they could potentially work with. Matt Blake could work with him and see if they could develop him a little bit more. But I'll tell you one guy in the bullpen that I think's really gonna blossom: Victor Gonzalez. Now he was traded, and keep in mind, he was traded along with who is the guy, the utility infielder that we got with him?
Yorbit Vivas.
Yeah, along with Yorbit Vivas, who's more of like I would call him more of like a scrappy infielder type, not necessarily gonna turn into a star. At least I could see. But we gave up Trey Sweeney. Okay, we talked a lot about Trey Sweeney. And I get the Yankees have a surplus of shortstops in their system, so they did kind of need to move some of them around. But Trey Sweeney was very, very talented. And, I don't think the Yankees would have just traded him to make roster space or even just clear out the shortstop position. I think really they saw something in Victor Gonzalez, and he's also a very solid relief pitcher. I mean, he's had postseason experience. I believe he's pitched in the World Series with the Dodgers.
Yes, has.
So I think Victor Gonzalez can turn into a really, really nice piece. And if they don't go out and get Wandy, I almost see him as an upgraded version of Wandy. I mean, you brought in another lefty, and this guy has big game experience. I think, he would be my biggest bullpen breakout pick if I had to make one, because, not a lot of people are talking about him, because also the trade kind of happened in the midst of all the Juan Soto and Yamamoto rumors that I think everyone was kind of just, all right, we got a bullpen arm, not really, going crazy over that. But I don't think it's a move that should be ignored. And I think he could play a huge, huge part in the Yankees bullpen this year. So if I had to pick a guy, watch him potentially carry the Yankees bullpen. And, I really see him as a 7th or 8th inning guy for the Yankees in 2024.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt Blake, Yankees front office, they are able to find guys. And, any reliever the Yankees bring in, you should always be excited because usually they turn out to be very effective. And I feel like the Yankees do have some left-handed relievers. I mean, they got Victor Gonzalez. Maybe they bring back Wandy. They also have Nick Ramirez in there too. And I expect Nick Ramirez will probably be in the similar role he had last year, going up and down between Scranton and New York. Nick Ramirez, great guy, by the way. Me and Christian have had some interactions with him. He's a great guy. Yeah, a little bit. But, I don't know. The Yankees bullpen, I think right now it's solid. I think it's a solid bullpen. I think it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I do think there's question marks in that bullpen, to be honest with you. But with that being said, I do think the Yankees, when it's all said and done, they'll be in a good spot with their bullpen. I mean, it's been one of their strengths of their team for a while now, for many years. But with that being said, I do feel the Yankees need to make another move, just add another arm into that bullpen because there's a lot of guys available right now. I'm not saying you have to bring in like a big name guy. Like, there's been talk about Ryan Brazier or Phil Maton. I'm not totally sure. Those guys are really, really good pitchers. But the Yankees just need to bring in someone who's going to get the job done, even if he's a middle of the road kind of guy. They just need another, decent arm in there. And even if it's, someone under the radar that the Yankees front office sees something in, that'd be fine too. But I don't know. But Christian, this is sort of off topic, but don't you find it interesting how the Yankees have managed this offseason in terms of, picking so many players up, putting them on their 40-man, releasing them. They claimed Jeter Downs and Oscar Gonzalez off waivers. Then I think they DFA'd both of them. They both cleared waivers and then optioned them to Scranton. And then they picked up Diego Castillo like last week. And then I think that, they just DFA'd him today to pick up Matt Gage. So a lot of roster movement there. I think, maybe the Yankees are just looking at all options and they just want to get their hands on, everything that they can get. And if they see something better, they'll do that. But I feel like anything in their sight right now that they think they could get any value out of, they're picking it up. And, sometimes they're finding something better and those moves are happening. But I thought that was interesting because I haven't really seen that. Usually it's the Billy McKinney spring training invitee, and then he's batting cleanup in July. So I don't know.
Well, all their spring training invitees should be starters this year because I'm telling you, and I know you were gone for a little bit when I was talking about this, but their rotation. Look, we can dream about it being good, and I think that's fair, but the rotation can go south very, very quickly.
No,
so.
I don't mean to cut you off for a while, but remember going into last season how slim our rotation was? We had Clark Schmidt as the second starter to start the season. Clark Schmidt started the second game of the season. So if a couple guys get injured on the Yankees team, that's what I'm saying. Who's their sixth starter? Will Warren, Luke Weaver? I mean, you're walking on thin ice. I mean, do I think the Yankees rotation is good? Do I think it's solid with that lineup being able to score them runs, adding Juan Soto, Verdugo? I think they'll be in a very good spot. However, if this rotation gets hurt, a couple guys go down, which it's a pitching staff. That always happens.
Yes.
It's not going to not happen. What do we have here? We don't really have anyone in AAA. Are we going to trust Luis Gil, who hasn't pitched, hasn't started a game since 2022 of spring, and throw him out on the mound coming off Tommy John? I don't know. I don't know if I trust that. It happened because of the Soto deal, and I guess there was some options, and the Yankees didn't totally go that route. But I don't know. Maybe someone will shine in spring training, they'll add him to the team, but I don't know. The rotation, they're definitely walking on thin ice with that. That's for sure.
I think you want as many Rich Hill-esque pitchers in Tampa with you guys because, as we said, it could go south. Ryan, though, we'll get into more of the rotation when we talk about Snell. You do have a 2024 lineup preview for us. And that is something that we can get excited about because there is I shouldn't say there's no questions with the lineup. Obviously, there is. I mean, you have Stanton, LeMahieu, all those guys. But this lineup should be a lot better than last year. So what does it look like, Ryan?
Well, the leadoff spot, little tricky, right? Some people say you could go Volpe. You obviously got DJ LeMahieu up there. We saw Gleyber Torres up there for a good chunk of last season. But I'm giving it to my guy, DJ LeMahieu. I'm going to have him at third base. The Yankees already said he's going to be the starting third baseman. I do think the Yankees have to make sure they have a good backup because we can't trust DJ's injury history the last few years. But we're getting into DJ. He's comfortable in that spot. So I'm going to have DJ leading off there, playing third base. And then batting second, we have the new addition. We have the man, the myth, the legend. I believe Aaron Boone already said he's going to be batting second and Judge will be batting third.
Yeah.
But we're going to have Juan Soto in right field. Juan Soto is going to put on those pinstripes in right field, and it's going to be beautiful. I'm going to be at the home opener. He's going to be wearing the fresh white pinstripes. Oh, my God. It's just beautiful to think about. Juan Soto is a Yankee, the number 22, shining in the sunlight. Just absolutely beautiful. You really can't go wrong there. And then batting third, we got the captain, Big Aaron Judge, Baj, number 99. Going to put him in center field there. Aaron Judge, I think it's safe to say he's sort of the center fielder, just like in baseball. Now, you always recognize him as a right fielder. He played a lot of center field, but MLB Network ranked him the number 1 center fielder in baseball. Is he like a center fielder now? Like, is that his thing?
I think at least until Dominguez comes back. I think even on MLB Network's, as much as we clown them, even on MLB Network's list and stuff, I mean, Judge is a center fielder. That's what he played kind of last year. That's what he's going to play. I mean, he is our center fielder until Dominguez comes back. And even then, he still might be. So who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. Might have to move the Judge's chambers out there in center field. Might have to put him above Monument Park. I don't know. We'll have to figure something out there. And then batting fourth, we got Judge's best friend. I mean, we got to rock with the Italian stallion, Anthony Rizzo, over there at first base. I like there. We got the righties. We got the lefties. The lineup is balanced. It's flowing. And Anthony Rizzo, people, don't be sleeping on Anthony Rizzo. I feel like Rizzo, last year had the problems with the head. We saw what that can do to Clint Frazier. The head is definitely a scary thing. You get head injuries. I know those things can be a problem. But I think Rizzo's going to be back. He's going to be back better than ever. He got his rest. And, him and Judge, we made a video last year when Rizzo got off to a hot start. We were like saying Judge and Rizzo could be, if they're not, they could be like one of the best duos in baseball if they're not already. They're really, really good together, best friends. You got to love it. And then batting fifth at second base, we got Gleyber Torres. I feel like that's a great spot for Gleyber. Gleyber had a lot of RBIs last year. He's probably the best offensive player besides Judge. And there were some periods Gleyber was really the only bright spot on that offense. Christian, it's a contract year for Gleyber. Gleyber wants that money. He wants to get paid. So if he wants to get paid and prove he's one of the best second basemen in baseball, he's going to have to go out there and prove it. So that's exciting because I feel like Gleyber is a chip on his shoulder, especially to the Yankees, too. He wants to prove to them, the Yankees haven't traded him, but there's been so many talks. The Yankees have tried to trade him, this and that. Gleyber wants to go out there. He wants to prove some things, right? And then
one thing I'll say before you get, I assume Stanton, but
yeah,
I don't like the idea of Torres playing in a contract year. I mean, we said this last year with Sevy, and obviously that went terrible, but I don't like Gleyber is a guy that gets so in his head, and we see how bad that becomes. I hope Gleyber is just not thinking about that at all, because Gleyber is at his best when he's having fun and he's just playing the game. But I just, so honestly, the idea of it being a contract year scares me with Gleyber, because if that gets in his head at all, he's going to get in a slump. So I just want Gleyber to go out there and have fun, to be honest, Ryan.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. The reason I have him, in that 5 spot instead of Stanton, because you got Rizzo, and then give Stanton there. It gets a little slow pokes on the base pads. You got to get Gleyber in there. Rizzo gets on base, a lot of hit by pitches by Rizzo. Gleyber, big RBI guy. But, I guess your hope would be that the spotlight is off Gleyber this year. Yes. Last year it was on him. There's so much talk, this and that, and he was sort of like the only bright offensive player the Yankees had when Judge was out. You got to think this year he's kind of going to take the back seat. He's like, guys, I have a contract year, but, you got Soto, you got Judge, you got the Cy Young winner. You brought Stroman in there, Verdugo as well. So I feel like that's, take the spotlight off him, let him relax. And that's going to be big. That's going to be big. It's tough playing in New York. There's no doubt about it. Everyone's going to have their struggles, but we just got to hope Gleyber can be himself. And I liked what he's done this offseason. I definitely see a lot on social media, working really, really hard. Has the beard going, too, as a lot of Yankee players do in the offseason. And then batting 6, we got Big G. Christian, this is a big year for Big G because not in terms of him getting his money, but I feel like this is it. Like if Big G doesn't go out here this year and he has a sluggish, slow year and we're not liking it, I feel like that could be it. I feel like people will write him off. That's 2 years in a row with the injuries being as bad as they've been. I feel like that might be time the Yankees cut ties because at that point he would really serve no value. I mean, he's going to be an everyday DH. He'll probably find his way in the outfield at some point, but he literally can't play the outfield. I think I can run faster than him. It's sad. It's sad, but the guy's an absolute freak. I mean, the guy looks like Hulk. I mean, he's a monster. He hits the ball as hard and as far as anyone in the league. But I feel like this is a big year for Stanton in terms of what he has left in the tank. Does he have anything left in the tank? I think he does, as long as he can stay healthy. But you bring in the injuries in it, I don't know. I don't think so.
I think he definitely has something there. I think what is stupid, I mean, the reports, and the same thing was with Rodon, about guys looking slimmer, guys looking healthy. All right, that's one thing to say about Carlos Rodon, right? Because, I mean, he's a professional baseball player. I'm not going to say he's overweight, but he did look a little bit out of shape last year.
Yeah.
But, I mean, saying that about Stanton seems wild. I mean, Stanton is probably the best physique in baseball to come out.
Well, that's why he gets hurt.
Yeah, but to come out and say that, I mean, Stanton's looking strong and healthy, of course he is. He's jacked. I'm not buying into those reports.
No, I mean, I wish I could look like Stan.
Me too.
Yeah, the guy's legs look like one of those lumberjack. The guy's a freak. I mean, the guy's a freak. I mean, you look at his track record since he played in high school. I mean, the guy got offers from Notre Dame to play tight end. He was a great basketball player, I believe, too. He's Big G for a reason. They used to call him Mike, but then he got a little diva on us in South Beach, had to go to Giancarlo. Yeah, but we're going to see what we have with Big G. It's going to be interesting. I'm excited to see it, but it's Big G. He's clutch in the postseason. We need that from Big G. And then at number 7, we got Doogie, Alex Verdugo. Looks like he might be wearing number 24, which I feel like the Yankees hand out to a new guy every year. Carpenter, Sanchez had it. The Yankee legend, Willie Calhoun wore it last year. Alex Verdugo. Verdugo, I feel like, could have a very solid season in the Bronx, right? Because in Boston, they had him batting third, top of the lineup. He was kind of their superstar franchise guy. Verdugo's going over to a new team. He wants to piss the Red Sox off. The Red Sox traded him to their biggest rival, right? He was pissed about it. He said it in his interview his press conference when he came over to the Yankees. So Alex Verdugo, solid lefty bat. You're going to have him in left field. He's freshly shaved. And, we're going to rock with Verdugo. I feel like Verdugo could have a very solid year. And I like that pickup a lot for the Yankees. I know some people are hating on it because they just hate Alex Verdugo as a Red Sox. Don't get me wrong. I mean, me and Christian would send texts when we were watching the game about this guy and how much we couldn't stand him. But now he's on our team. He's rolling with us in the BX. And, we're chasing the same goal. Me and Christian don't play on the team, but we still want a ring. So we're chasing the same goal. And then batting eighth, we're going to go with Anthony Volpe. Some people want him in the 9 spot to, have that extra leadoff man, which is rightfully so. I would not argue with you at all if you wanted to put him in the 9 spot. But, I wouldn't argue with you. It's tough. I'm debating it right now in my head. But I don't know.
I like him more in the 9.
You like him more in the 9? Okay, we can put him at the 9. And then at the 8, we'll rock with Trevino Wells. I'm not picking either or. Opening day, it's most likely it's going to be Trevino. And then I guess I feel like Trevino and Wells are going to get a lot of playing time. It's going to be equal. So Trevino Wells, one of them. And he can have Volpe in the 9 spot. But I'm really liking the Yankees lineup too. Because Anthony Volpe, Christian, he could have a better year. I mean, he had 25 home runs last year. So
Yeah. Well, a lot. I mean, he did hit 25 home runs, but people people on Twitter and just people that I talk to either I feel like no one really has the right grasp almost on
yeah,
Anthony Volpe. Like, yes, he hit 25 home runs, but he was
no,
like
yeah,
well below a league average hitter, right?
no,
He
he wasn't.
didn't hit for any average. With
OPS was
that
not
said,
there.
people who are saying he had a bad rookie year is also not fair, right? He won a gold glove, which I think matters a lot more nowadays with all the new metrics. And then you can also use the argument that he did hit 25 home runs and showed a little bit of promise. So I don't think it really goes either way. I think the people that, put out on Twitter comparing, Volpe's home run total to guys like Correa and Baez and all those guys, arguing that he had a better season. I don't think that's fair
No,
because
it's not.
that's it's a counting stat. He played a ton of games, which is a good thing. But I mean, he hit for a very bad average, and I think
Yeah,
was maybe like 20 points below league average, OPS plus wise. So look, Volpe had a solid rookie year. He needs to show improvements this year. If you have to tone down the home runs, get on base more,
yeah,
show a
yeah.
little bit more patience at the plate.
Yeah, I mean, and if the Yankees, if he can get on base more, the Yankees should probably tell him this. I mean, I have his stats pulled up, but like if he could get on base more, it just creates so many opportunities for the Yankees, especially if he's batting ninth, right? And then you got DJ Soto and Judge following him. But I mean, he had 24 stolen bases last year. He's only 22 years old. And, he's going to have to adjust as it goes on. I feel like the gold glove was definitely big, kind of shut down those naysayers about, can he play shortstop, this and that. The bottom line is everyone likes to talk about his arm. Does he have a perfect arm for a shortstop? No. Is he, on a tough play, is sometimes the throw not going to come in as fast and the guy's going to be safe? Yes. But he's an excellent defender. He makes a ton of great plays. It's just something that comes with it. Everyone's not perfect, and he won the gold glove for a reason. So I feel like those naysayers talking about his defense, they need to keep quiet. I mean, is his arm perfect? No, but he gets the job done over there. Yeah, I'm looking at his stats right now. 209, 283 on base percentage, and a 666 OPS. That's the devil OPS. It's not great, but you look at like some of his other stats. I mean, they're not like I don't know. We'll see.
He just needs to get a little better, right? He needs to show improvements for next year. And look, this guy's a promising shortstop.
It says 21 homer. I guess it was 21 homers. I swear.
Yeah.
I guess
Even
it's 20,
even
21.
still. So then, I mean, 21. Like,
Yeah. No, that's my apologies, guys.
I don't know. We're not at all bashing his season last year, and I also think it's a lot different because, I mean, last year, like people put too much. People were expecting Volpe to be like our savior last year. I mean, people were thinking he's the next Derek Jeter coming up and saving the Yankees. No, he's a rookie. I don't want to say he got rushed up, but I mean, he was kind of like playing it out and getting used to the environment. So I think honestly, he will thrive this year at the bottom of the Yankees lineup, getting more fastballs and really setting the table for the guys at the top like DJ, Soto, and Judge.
No, yeah, that's what I said before. Like, if I'm the Yankees, I'm just saying, like, dude, get on base. Like, just get on base. Like, especially if you're leading off the inning, just get on base because he's so fast. His stolen base percent. I mean, he stole like almost all the bases. He like all of his attempts. He didn't really get thrown out much at all. I would just tell him get on base. Like, if he could get on base, poke at the ball, bunt if you need to, smack at it. Do whatever you can, get on base. And a lot of his problems last year too were he wasn't making adjustments to some pitches. Like I feel like the first half of the season, every time it would just be a high fastball. He'd like uppercut and he'd swing right up. Like he just needs to make some adjustments. He'll be in a good spot. He's 22 years old. We'll see what we have. But it's his sophomore season. That's usually when players start to, show signs of this, of his talent. So I feel like this year we'll get a pretty good understanding of sort of what kind of player he is. You never know. It's still too early, regardless. But you never know. So that's the Yankees 2024 lineup preview. I feel like it will be something around there. There'll definitely be different combinations. I have no idea what they'll do when Dominguez gets back. But that's a problem for July, and it's a good problem to have, as you always say. Although that phrase, I've kind of thought about it, before. It's a problem. Is it a good one? It's a problem. I don't know. But that's for you to decide. But, Christian, do you want to talk about FOCO?
Well, yeah, let's do it. Me and Ryan, before we get into the Blake Snell rumors, you guys want the Yankees to spend money on Blake Snell, but you guys can spend money on really, really cool Yankees items. Me and Ryan did a little bit of a photo shoot. FOCO was we were very lucky enough to have FOCO send us some items. You can see Ryan here rocking a Yankees Hawaiian-esque shirt. And I'll tell you, this is actually, I was expecting this to be like a sort of like a dress shirt. It is perfect. It almost has like the athletic material. I think you could wear this out, or you could throw a football around in this. You could go out and have a nice dinner in this. It's a great party shirt. FOCO also, you can see this super cool Aaron Judge number 99. What would you call that besides a hat?
It's one of those like safari hats.
Safari hats, exactly. Yeah. If you're taking a trip
what is it called? A sun hat? Sun hat or safari hat? It's one of them.
One of them. It's very cool, comfortable, and it's kind of a nice look, more fun. And you can see me holding a Garrett Cole big head. This is not a bobblehead. This is a big head, bigger than normal bobbleheads, and it's pretty cool. And prepare your screens for some hotness here as I display me and Ryan in our Yankees overalls.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Ryan with Garrett Cole's big head in his overall pouch, and that's the box it comes in.
Yeah.
Look, these are super cool items, and this is just a fraction of what FOCO has to offer. Look, if you're a Yankee fan, go out, click the link in our description, just give the shop a scroll. I guarantee you will see something that you're going to say, that's pretty cool. I think I might buy that. And if you don't, tell me I'm wrong. You can use our code BXTalks10 for 10% off. And it's again, it's the first link in the description. Supports us, also gets you super cool Yankees merch. So when we're done with this, if you want to take some time and check it out, that'd be super cool. FOCO is the best.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's something for everyone on there. Something for
Legos, everything. Yeah.
Literally anything you're into. And anything you're into that you want to be Yankee themed or sports themed or one of your favorite teams or whatever, you can get that. You could get Yankee Legos. You want to go on a safari. Let's say you got a trip to Africa or something. You want to see some giraffes. Perfect. You got your Aaron Judge, safari hat. You're going to the beach, safari hat. Boom. You're going to a party. Boom. You want to be swaggy. You want to be that cool guy. Boom. Safari hat. You're repping your favorite team. You're repping your favorite player, and you're not going to get sunburn on your face because this covers like your whole face. Like I put it on right
Especially
here.
if you're rocking the overalls. You definitely want something that's a lot of skin exposed. Or you could wear a shirt under it. But bottom line, FOCO, go check it out. First link in our description. Code BXTalks10 for 10% off.
Yeah, and the overalls get you plus 10 Riz for any of those out there. Just throwing that out there.
It's possible. You'll see me and Ryan at a game this year rocking those. I'm sure we'll get on Yes Network with them. But get them. And if you do purchase them, please send a picture to me and Ryan. We would love to feature you guys all over social media because I think not only is it like the coolest, funniest thing to wear, but I don't know. It's awesome. So look, go check it out. It's the first link in our description. Foco.
Yeah, absolutely. Big shout out to Foco. They are awesome. Great people over there. Great people that work with us, no doubt about it. Christian, we have a big name to talk about. Blake Snell. Blake Snell. More Blake Snell news came out today. Me and Christian made a video last week saying how we thought the Yankees have a chance at Blake Snell. We wouldn't count them out. And I basically, last week, I said, I don't totally know if this still stands because we hadn't heard any news on it, but the Yankees were the only team to offer Blake Snell a contract. Fast forward today, Bob Nightingale reports that the Yankees were the only team and are still the only team to offer Blake Snell a contract. And Blake Snell's asking for something crazy. I'm not totally sure, but I think it was like 7-9 years at $275 million, which is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. The guy's 31 years old. I know he won a Cy Young, but no one is paying you nearly $300 million, giving you 9 years. It's just not the reality, and that's probably why he hasn't gotten an offer. And the Yankees offer, I believe, is 6 years at 150. 6 years at 150. Christian, if you want to do the math, see how that AVV is. But I don't know. Will Blake Snell be a Yankee? Will some team get crazy and want to add the last year's Cy Young pitcher and give him a 1 year, $45 million deal? Would he even accept that? Does he just want a long-term deal? Is he going to get a long-term deal? So many contract questions surrounding Blake Snell. This is the beauty of sports because it is a business. These players, they don't play for free. They want the money, and there's a lot of negotiation that has to be happening. I'm telling you something you already know, of course. But, to be honest with you, sitting here right now, Christian, I have zero clue what is going to happen with Blake Snell. Absolutely zero clue. This isn't the NFL. He's not sitting out this year. He's not sitting out. He's not doing a Le'Veon Bell. All right. He's not Emmitt Smith. He's not holding out. It doesn't work like that. Who is he going to play for? I have no idea. But if I'm the Yankees and you want to make a little bit of push, if that is true, that the Yankees are the only team to offer him a contract, up the ante a little bit. I'm not saying give him what he wants because I wouldn't. But up the ante a little bit, entice him, incentives, this, that, and just try to make a push to get him because, as it wears down, it's close to the spring training. A team might just say, screw it, let's just get Blake Snell. You never know. So I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't think anyone has a clue what's going to happen. I have zero clue what will happen with Blake Snell.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's weird because when a two-time Cy Young winner goes on the market, you'd think a lot of teams would be interested. And I think what we're all used to is, the rumors circulating, it's one team, then the Yankees come in as they always do, and then ultimately he falls somewhere. But there's kind of been none of that. But when you kind of look at his career, it's not that weird because he's going to be 31 years old. Right? He might already be 31. And he's asking for, I believe, 7 years, $270 million.
That's crazy.
That's ridiculous. And yes, he's won the Cy Young twice. But other than that, between injuries and just weird years, he hasn't been a Cy Young pitcher other than those 2 years. Okay?
Yeah.
So, yeah, is he coming off an amazing season? Yes. But there is a little bit of risk factor that is making teams hesitant to throw $200 million at him. And, I'm even surprised that the Yankees threw out an offer at him.
Yeah.
So there's two things with the Yankees and Blake Snell that you have to consider. The first thing is that you question, is the offer even on the table still? The Yankees made the $150 million over 6 years offer before they signed Marcus Stroman. Maybe that was hey, we'll see if we can get Snell on a deal. If not, we're happy to take Stroman, and we're going to close out our big time free agency moves.
Yeah.
So that's the first question. And, the second question is really, what is Blake Snell going to demand? Is a team going to go even close to his demand at 270, or is it going to be the Yankees offer at 150? Now, the Yankees did kind of set the bar there. So, I don't see it going under that 150 mark. But look, I don't know if it really gets much higher than that. I know starting pitching is very valuable, but
Yeah.
this guy's had a weird, weird career. Yankees aren't necessarily, and really any team isn't really looking to, or no team is really confident in giving this guy a lot of money.
No,
So
because I don't mean to cut you off, but like I feel like if you just think about it, like I could just see Blake Snell going out there next season pitching to an almost 4 ERA. I don't totally I don't totally trust him there, and especially with baseball, Christian. I mean, there's not like Cody Bellinger is another name. He isn't gone anywhere. He isn't signed. We're seeing this a lot in baseball each year. Players, decent big time free agents are signing later on. There's just been a lot of problems with, financials. There's a lot of, so many small market teams in baseball that can't dish out any of that money at all. So you eliminate almost a third of the league. The other part is going to go out and get different free agents. And then it sort of leaves these guys like the Blake Snells, Cody Bellingers of the world in a tough spot. He's just not going to get that money. Obviously, his agent and him must be talking because Blake Snell's a smart guy. Like, there's no way he's just being stubborn. Like, he has to calm down because no one's going to give him this. He's 31 years old. Being a Yankee fan, we've seen many bad contracts, right? Happens with a lot of teams, right? These just really, really bad contracts, dished out and handed out to players, and no one's going to give him what he wants. No one is paying that because in 3 years, Blake Snell could be an absolute bum, and he's getting paid well over $20 million a year. No one is doing that. They're not. This is not happening. So I have no idea what's going to happen. Like, if you're Blake Snell, this is what I could see happening, although I wouldn't see it's likely. Like, in my mind, I would see this as a possible scenario, but, I don't think other people would agree. But I've heard he doesn't, the rumors are saying he doesn't want a short-term deal. Like, he doesn't want 3 to 4 years. What I could potentially see happening is a team would be like, okay, you went out, you won the Cy Young last year. You want to get paid this year? Go out, win the Cy Young again, and prove you're a top 5 pitcher in baseball once again. Because then if you were to do that, then, he'd obviously get more because then he'd do it 2 years in a row. And a team could go out there, offer him a big 1-year deal contract. But is a team even going to want to do that? Are they going to want to dish out, 30, 35 million north of that to Blake Snell on a 1-year deal? He could get injured and you miss the whole season. You're stuck paying a guy 35 mil who did nothing. And there's so many risks with Blake Snell. I have no idea what's going to happen. But you'd think he'd sign within, I'd say, the next month. I mean, maybe a little after spring training starts, but once it gets to middle of March, it's done because then he needs to ramp up for the season. He needs to play in spring training games and pitch to live hitters and stuff like that. So I have no idea. I am lost with the Blake Snell drama.
Yeah, I don't really agree with what you said about that he could kind of the short-term deal just because I don't think it makes any sense for him. A team I think would hand out $40 million over a 1-year deal in an instant to him. I mean, you get the Cy Young winner for a year, you'll take that 100%. But why would Blake Snell ever do that? I mean, this is probably where his contract gets the highest. Even if he goes out and has a great year next year, he's just a year older. Now he's going into the next season 32, and the contract might be even smaller. Yeah, is there a little bit more reassurance that he's a better pitcher? Maybe, but I mean, and that's also even saying that Blake Snell has a good year. So I think Blake Snell is 100% looking to be locked up for the rest of his career. I'll say this, and I don't want to keep repeating myself because I feel like I've said this multiple times on the show, but I think the one scenario where Blake Snell can become a Yankee is if they get into spring training, and I think pitchers and catchers report the 14th. You get
Yeah.
to that point, and maybe a week or two in, one of the guys in their rotation, in the Yankees rotation, goes down. Then you're looking at 4 starters, and keep in mind this is very likely. I mean, between Stroman, Cortez, and Rodon, they've had very injury prone careers. So it's not unrealistic to say that one of them could get injured before the season even starts. So if Blake Snell is still on the market when spring training rolls around and a guy goes down in the rotation and Cashman's looking at that and you have Luke Weaver or Will Warren set as your 5 to begin the season, that's when I think the Yankees could swoop in and either throw that 150 mil deal back out there or even go a tad bit higher to really reinsure the rotation. Because, if you get to that point, and keep in mind, more injuries can happen and then you're even more screwed. So
Yeah.
I don't think the Yankees, I don't think we're just going to get a random breaking news post in the next 2 weeks that the Yankees offered Snell or that the Yankees signed Snell for $200 million. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think right now the Yankees feel kind of set. But I think if you get to spring training, something happens, then that's really the only way I see the Yankees going after Snell.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I sort of agree. I mean, the only reason I'm not fully agreeing is because I have zero clue what will happen. But I can definitely see that happening. It's a great way to look at it. And also, Luke Weaver could be a potential fan favorite this year. Pitcher goes down middle of the season. We're throwing out there Luke Weaver on his $1 million contract. I mean, I give Cashman kudos. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's Luke Weaver. So, it's not a superstar. But, I mean, that was a very nice deal we got him on. With that being said, it's Luke Weaver. So he's not getting a high five. But, he got like a thumbs up. But, I mean, Luke Weaver, fan favorite. Watch out. Someone goes down middle of June. We're throwing out there Weaver against the Bo Sox. It's a Friday night. Weaver shuts him down, okay? Weaver shuts him down. He gives a 6 shutty, dude. We're saying, whoa. Whoa now. Luke Weaver. And I got myself buying Luke Weaver's jersey. I wonder what number they'll give him. Probably be like 93 or something stupid. But yeah. Luke Weaver to the Bronx. Christian, the final thing we're going to talk about, this is some big news that came out last week. Surprising news, I would say. I feel like no one in the world was thinking about this. And boom, Yankees dropped it on us. The Yankees will be making an alteration to their road uniforms. Technically, the first time since 2015, because I don't know if you guys really remember, but they switched their home helmets. They have like the shiny batting helmets they wear at home. And then the road ones, they sort of like matted them like gray. They're not like shiny. They changed that. But does that really change? I don't think so. But the Yankees will be changing their road uniforms for the first time since 1973. You can see it here. They will be removing the white outline around New York and the jersey numbers. And as well as on the sleeve, the Yankees have that sort of like cut off with the sleeve trim. They'll be removing that, going back to the old school feel of the Yankees, the same road jersey that, guys like Mickey Mantle, Babe Ruth wore. Obviously not the same material, but the same exact look. It's pretty crazy. I mean, I sort of like it. I mean, I could say someone else thinks like the other jersey looks cool. I do think it's a small change that, either way, you should not be losing your mind over this, or you just want to complain about something and you're that type of fan. I feel like this might have been a ploy by the Yankees to, have the, those type of fan people reveal themselves to just complain about them. Because even if you like the other one, you can't complain because that's just stupid. But I don't know. I mean, I like it. I like the whole old school S. I mean, I think the other one might look better. I mean, I don't really care. I feel like it's cool to have the old school look. Some new uniforms. I'd like to see what they look like on the players. That's a long time, Christian. We're going back pre-19. We're going back to 73. So that's a long, long time. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
I don't have a strong opinion. Just like you said, I mean, I find it comical that people on Twitter can lose their minds about an outline on a uniform getting removed, right? And for what makes some people, yeah, it's one thing to say you don't like it, but I mean, to be losing your mind. And I've even saw people complain that the Yankees are losing their traditional ways and changing all this stuff. They're literally going back
Yeah,
to
they're
how they
going,
used to be. They're going back to their root.
yeah.
So I like it. I think it's a simpler design. I think it'll look nice on the players. Now everyone's got to buy new road jerseys, more money for the Yankees, and
Yeah, I mean
how.
the Yankees haven't won in like 15. We haven't won since 2009. We need a fresh start. You know, we need the ghosts. We need the auras of Roger Maris, Mickey Mantle, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Joe DiMaggio. Oh my God, getting chills right now naming all the great Yankee legends, Yogi Berra. I mean, the list goes on and on. We need to channel their energy. We need to get their aura and try to go win 28 because we've tried to win 28 on our own, Christian. Hasn't happened. So we need some help from the guys of the past. So maybe this is our good luck charm. You know, maybe the Yankees go out here, win the World Series, you know, in these road gray uniforms, and boom, never to be changed again. I wonder, you know, I feel like the Yankees will, the next few years, get a City Connect jersey, and that's a whole other argument. I feel like that argument kind of goes out the door now. And someone brought this up to me the other day, but like the Yankees put a patch on their jersey. So if you were like someone, oh, like the Yankees like this and that, like they got to stay tradition, blah 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 blah. I mean, yeah, obviously, do I like the patch on the uniform? No, I hate it. It looks horrible. Do I understand it? I do understand it. But I feel like that goes out the window now that you put a sponsor patch on the New York Yankees uniform. So, you know, I wonder if they get a City Connect. That's a whole other thing. People have talked about the Yankees getting a City Connect. I mean, I feel like they will at some point. They're the Yankees. It's so marketable. It's so easy to sell. What that will look like, I don't know. Although this year they're not getting a City Connect. It's kind of crazy how slow they've been with these. I mean, they started them in 2021. I don't even think half the league has gotten theirs yet. I know the Mets are getting theirs this year. The Nationals are retiring their City Connect jersey after this year. Jerseys in baseball and in sports are getting crazy. You know, a side topic here. I mean, I don't mean to bore you, but I mean, I know like the NBA is ridiculous, like with their City Connect uniforms. Like they have the New Orleans Pelicans wearing neon green and purple. There was like a game where the Mavericks were wearing green and the Celtics were wearing, and the Milwaukee Bucks were wearing blue. Like it's crazy. They have crazy uniform stuff over there. I don't know, but that's it. New uniforms, shocking. Anytime you hear Yankee uniforms and the word change in there, you definitely got to open your eyes because it's very, very rare. The Yankees are probably the least, what's the word I'm looking for? Their jerseys are the least touched, they're the least impacted. I feel like out of any other team in sports, they never get changed because they're so iconic. So that's what it is. And you know, to wrap it up, Chris, we're almost approaching an hour. Spring training starts, I believe, 25th is first game, like you said. Pitchers and catchers report the 14th. So we're diving in here full gear. We're ready to go. And 2024 Yankees baseball, praying it's better than 2023. I cannot sit through that hellhole again. I really can't. I really can't. Because, you know, I'm like a nut job. So, like, I remember one game, the Yankees were totally out of it. Harrison Bader, there's like a video on Instagram. Harrison Bader almost hit like a walk-off homer. Not really. He hit like the ball to the warning track. I like flipped that. And the Yankees were like 8 game on the wild card. And
Yeah, I thought that was pretty sad.
Yeah, and it was like the end of my summer. That was like a wake-up call that Ryan, you're a loser and you need to do something about your life. But which I did. But I don't know. I don't know. We just can't have 2023 again because that was miserable. That was really miserable. But yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a fun year, not just for the Yankees, but I think baseball too. Got a lot of faces that got moved around. Otani's with the Dodgers, Soto's in the Bronx. Fun year. Always is in baseball, besides last year when you see the Rangers and Diamondbacks playing each other in the World Series. MLB does not want that to happen again, especially in a sport that is trying to make money, and you have two of the most garbage teams playing each other with the Rangers, who've never won besides this year, and no one in Dallas cares about baseball in terms of the Texas Rangers.
They should take a hint from the NFL and start scripting things a little bit. Let's get Yankees and Dodgers in the World Series and jack up the ratings.
Oh my God, I'd fly out to LA too. I'd dump my college fund and watch those games. But yeah, got to get a better script. What we're having the Diamondbacks in the World Series. Who's their guy? Like, come on, Arizona Diamondbacks. We're trying to grow the game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't have Corbin Carroll on like on Fox, Christian, when it's like World Series, they play that little Fox thing, and then you got like a player here, like it's a Fox game, you got Judge, or the Red Sox were good, you had Mookie Betts and Judge there. It was like, whoa, here we go. You go on here, you see Corbin Carroll on the left of your screen. Why are you watching that? Especially in the heart of sports season.
The best ones of those are like the August Yankees Red Sox games when the whole roster is injured and you have like Chris Carter like pop flies and Willie Calhoun and our 3-hole like jacking home runs, and they're trying to hype us up the classic Yankee Red Sox rivalry. That is what I think is the funniest thing.
That rivalry needs some.
It's gonna be terrible this year because Red Sox are gonna be terrible. So if we lose to them, it's just gonna be laughable. And if we win, it's kind of like
yeah. Well,
Yankees Dodgers
is pretty pathetic too. Last year we got handed to it by the Red Sox. We were not good.
Every team did that to us.
Yeah, but I mean, when we had Willie Calhoun, Jake Bowers, I'm low-key like happy we don't have Bowers. Like he was solid, but
I liked him.
But I feel like we need to get that 2023 vibes out of there. We got rid of Billy McKinney too, so we're getting rid of the 2023.
Well, yeah, and then the new Jake Bowers and Willie Calhoun guys come in this year, which will happen. No matter, you could build the best roster in the world, you could spend as much money as you want, you're still gonna have a Willie Calhoun, a Jake Bowers at the top of your lineup. I mean, you are the Yankees.
Christian, before we go, obviously, we all want, if I were to ask you this question, you'd say, we want the Yankees to win the World Series this year. We all do. Everyone watching this, if you're a Yankee fan, you want the Yankees to win the World Series, unless you want them to never win so they can fire Cashman for your own personal vendetta. I completely understand. Not really, but whatever. But besides the Yankees winning the World Series, Christian, is there a storyline or something cool you'd like to see happen this year?
I mean, my mind instantly goes to like postseason moments, like a Volpe like walk-off home run in the postseason or something. Yeah. But I think if I had to choose one, I'd want Carlos Rodon to be better than Garrett Cole this year. I would want Rodon to be the best pitcher in baseball.
Be the Bulldog. Wow.
I mean, I think if that happens, Yankees are set.
I agree. I'm gonna throw one on here. First season in the BX. Juan Soto MVP, American League MVP. He's got Judge batting behind him. Imagine if him and Judge go out there fighting for the MVP from one another. Like JD Martinez and Mookie Betts did in 2018. Like, that's what the Yankees need. They need that dynamic. That'd be fun. The Yankees need to get a postseason walk-off. Yankees haven't had a postseason walk-off since 2012 by Raul Ibanez, which is pretty crazy to think about. I mean, the Yankees haven't made it to the World Series since 2009, but they've been to the playoffs a lot. It's pretty crazy to think about. They haven't gotten a walk-off in the postseason since Raul Ibanez. So that would be cool to see. But I don't know. I'm just getting excited for the season. I feel like everyone wants it to start. I just want to get it underway. I want to get in the full swing of things. I feel like ever since the Yankees got Soto, we've been like, all right, let's start the season, and join the ride with us. We're going to be talking Yankees, be here every Monday. The Yankees, it's always an exciting year regardless. I wouldn't say exciting, but it's always, there's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about, good and bad, about the Yankees. We hope it's mostly all good this year, but it's going to be really, really exciting, and spring training too. I mean, if you're someone who's not, into spring training, likes to tune out, sort of. I'm not saying you have to watch every spring training game, but definitely check it out on social media, because there's going to be a lot of cool stuff with Juan Soto, Verdugo. There's probably going to be a bunch of stuff in the Yes Network hyping this year up. So I would definitely say check that out. I know I will be. Pretty soon, tune back into the Michael K Show every 3 o'clock. So we'll see what happens, but I'm just really excited. And thank you for spending your Monday evening with us. We greatly appreciate it. It's always a pleasure. And Christian, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, we'll be back here next Monday.
Sounds good.